Welcome everyone to week 2 of Coalition League's spring season. The game for tonight is between C2 and DoV Nightfall. Both these teams, middle of the pack teams here, ranked standing in the standings as number 4 and number 5 respectively. And I'm Random Minion Caster, and I'll be casting the game tonight alongside Aderant Luna. Welcome, Luna.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Good, good. So as we get into the game here, they have completed their pro drafts, so we'll be going right into the completed pro drafts here. And it looks like on the side of C2 Esports, they have banned Thresh, Set, Caitlyn, Fizz, and Lucian. So 2 bans are at the ADC there. Looks like they're a little scared of Poison Lynch. And on the side of DoV Nightfall, we've got a Syndra ban, Yasuo ban, Jax ban, and Zac ban. 2 to the mid and 2 to, and possibly 2 to the jungle or 1 to the top. In terms of picks, C2 Esports has decided to go with Ornn in the top lane, Wukong in the jungle, Azir mid, and the bot lane combination of Senna and Zilean. On side of DoV Nightfall, we have Illaoi top, Graves in the jungle, Diana mid, and Swain and Jinx bot lane. Luna, thoughts?
I'm questioning the Senna Zilean. Like, I get Fasting Senna is still very popular, but why with Zilean, right? I mean, but why not use a melee like Nautilus?
Could that possibly be
Or
an
Leona?
ADC setup with a support Zilean?
Possibly. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Uh, they do have a very good Wombo team with Wukong, Azir, and Ornn. Like, they have a lot of CC on C2 Esports. And then on Nightfall, I mean, Illaoi, I've seen some amazing Illaois, and I've seen some horrible Illaois. So, it's, in my opinion, it's a hit or miss. Uh, Graves is very strong. I'm not sure if Diana is a good pick into Azir or not, since Azir has the range on her. And I really like the Swain Jinx bot lane. That is a very formidable combo.
For sure, CC for days, and we're just going to start heading into Summoner's Rift here. It looks like we've been loaded into the Rift. So we'll see as the teams load up here. We were talking about the bot lane of Jinx and Swain, and they will have a pretty good invade here on the side of DoV, but on the side of C2, they're no slouch either. The Senna Zilean basically makes it very difficult to invade on them freely, and we'll have to see how that goes. Looks like they'll just do 5-point defense on either side here, nobody wanting to get too aggressive. So looking across the lanes here, Luna, which lanes do you think will be winning for the side of C2, and which do you think will be winning on the side of DoV?
In the case of the C2 bot lane, it's definitely going to be a skill matchup. If Zilean can hit his bombs, if he can hit the QWQ, that's not only a lot of burst damage, but it's, I believe, a 1.5 to 2 second stun. So that's going to give Senna ample time to set up her route. That'll be a lot of burst damage coming out really fast. On the other hand, though, it's going to be easier for the Swain Jinx, just because Swain can proc his own passive off of Chompers and then hit his E, or vice versa, use his E to proc his passive into Jinx Chompers. So it's very back and forth.
Definitely.
And it's just an easier setup.
Yeah, and definitely there's a lot of potential burst damage coming up from both sides as well. And one thing to note is that it will indeed be a fasting Senna. Zilean opting to pick up the Duran's ring, while Senna has the expected spectral sickle there. So a lot of the farm will be headed towards Demon Chain. So we will see that Zilean a bit stronger than perhaps we're used to as a support Zilean there. Both junglers opted to start bot side of the map, with Gunt starting his blue buff and with Knesset starting his red buff here. We see Gunt finishing his full bot side clear, so potentially looking to either power level or maybe get a gank off mid, while Knesset rotating straight away to his top side, potentially looking for an early level 3 and then a gank in the top lane.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't played against the new Wukong all that much, so I'm not sure how good it is in terms of jungle play or how strong it is currently. I've heard it's hit and miss as well. Uh, I think Awali wins the matchup early into Ornn.
Oh, and
Uh,
bot lane, the beautiful route, the pull there, pull into the chompers, as you said. The DOV getting the better of that trade there. The ignite goes down, and that will be first blood over to Poison Lynch. That's the last thing you want to see as C2 there, giving first blood over to the ADC. And another snare there, and a pull in, followed by the W from Swain, and that will pick up the kill. So that's the double kill split up to one to Poison Lynch and one to Web Hippo on the side of DOV.
which that's a very important thing that they did. Instead of just giving all the gold to Jinx, having it split up between both Jinx and Swain, very smart play. Because a Swain on his own, if the, I mean, I'm not going to complain against a fed Swain, are you?
Definitely not. I mean, Swain can often be seen in other lanes as well. Yet another beautiful route. They will get everything off there. The chompers, the vision, the eyeball, the huge bleeding eyeball there. And yet another kill goes over to Swain. Poor Bipolar Rat just literally got back to lane and instantly goes back down. Demon Chains will not have to arrive in lane alone. Hopefully he'll play a little safer and won't get hit by everything the way Bipolar Rat did.
That was, whose man is this? Oh, he finally missed one.
Yeah, that never moved. A huge threat in the bot lane there. They should just rename that skill Death Sentence because it looks a lot scarier than the Thresh Death Sentences we've seen thus far in the last week and a half here of Coalition Spring League.
Right, you are. Did we have any Thresh games last week? I don't recall.
I can't recall off the top of my head which teams played it, but I do believe we did have some Thresh games last week. And for this week, I do believe Roar Rampage, who has completed their draft at this point, did pick it for their support, though we'll have to see how that one turns out and whether or not Roar Rampage is able to make use of that Thresh. But coming back to this game here, Poison Lich has based and already done their first buy. That's a BF Sword in the first 5 minutes of the game. That bot lane is going to be utter, absolute hell for C2. They do get a knock-up there on Web Hippo, but it's not long enough. And once again, the Never Move lands. Poison Lynch picking up the kill on that one. The Never Move, just the moment you get hit by it, it's game over.
So on top of Jinx getting the BF sword, I'd also like to point out that Swain got the AP equivalent with his Lost Chapter there at 1300 gold.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. Swain did start with the Relic Shield there, which gives a little bit of ability power, but more health than ability power. Having that Lost Chapter will give him that extra AP that he would love as a mage, and will also make sure that he's got plenty of mana to sustain in the lane. Top lane, Commando Ops are having to flash out as Lord of Aces uses all the tentacles there to just whack down on him, will force the base out of Commando Ops. And bot lane, Poison Lynch getting snared up there, but will get hit by the Chompers and will get bursted down. That BF Sword is doing work. That's a combined 5-0 for the bot lane of DOV.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Mid lane, the fight's breaking out between Dex, Law, and Phantom X, culminating in both of them just standing there, whacking away at each other with auto attacks, and it looks like it will be a liver suicide. Both mid laners going down there to each other, but it looks like Dexlaw will get the better of it as he does get the first kill there, will get the experience also for killing Phantom X.
Yeah, it does appear that Phantom X is a level above over the Azir. However, Azir still, he managed to save his flash, so he has the edge on that fight at the moment.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how that plays out, and if the junglers will take advantage of the fact that Phantom's X flash is down while Dex Laws is still up. And once again, we're looking at the bot lane as the biggest point of pressure here. They're a full level up on the side of DoV to their counterparts on C2. C2's bot lane having to play extremely passive. Only 20 farm on Zillion compared to the 55 on the side of Poison Lynch.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for the Zillion. Good dodge there. But Zillions are known to be able to power farm really quickly once they get at least one item. The double bomb is a disgusting amount of damage.
Yeah, and at this point, Zillion not quite completing his first item yet, just sitting on the Amp Tome and the Duran's Ring, but top lane, Gunth looking for a gank, will miss the Graves Q there, will land the smoke screen, but the smoke screen not enough to hold him in place, and Commando will just be able to walk away. Meanwhile, Knesset on the Wukong getting aggressive on Phantom X there, knowing the flash is down. Phantom X will turn around and get the ultimate off onto, but will still go down to Dexlo. Gunth now looking to try and pick something up on the backside. He is level 6, does have the ultimate available, will land some damage on Dexlo, but not enough to bring him low enough to kill, and looks like he'll just farm out that mid lane.
Yeah, the range definitely showing the advantage here for Dexlo there.
But Knesset sneaking around the back here, an ultimate from Dexlo, but the ultimate Emperor's Divide doesn't quite get Gunth the right way and ends up pushing him to safety. Poison Lynch sending the Super Mega Death Rocket down the mid lane, will get damage from Dexlo, but Dexlo will be able to survive all of that.
Yeah, and Graves also going for his collateral damage there, hoping to have enough burst, but not quite having enough.
Yeah, and good trade and poke there from the side of DoV. Phantom X will come back to an empty lane as Azir is forced to back, picking up the Stinger and the Fiendish Codex there, the components for a Nash's Tooth, but no completed item for him. Meanwhile, Diana, the counterpart, having already built the Hextech Revolver as the only completed component there for the side of DoV's mid laner.
Yeah, it looks like... I'm not sure what Diana's building with that Ruby Crystal and the Revolver.
Most likely probably a Proto Belt there, looking to just get a bit more engaged. Diana already great engaged, very slippery with her E there, but she can just jump on targets, but the Proto Belt will give her a second engage should she still wish to use that. And now we've got Dragon coming up, second Drake of the game. It will be an Inferno Drake coming up in just under a minute here. Both junglers are in the area setting up vision, and on the side of DoV, they've got a lot of vision on the Dragon. 3 pinks there. Gunth looking for a gank mid, but Azir will just dash out to safety. Won't even take much damage at all from that attempted gank. Knesset now looking to go bot lane, perhaps to alleviate the pressure. Bipolar Rat taking tons of damage from the Jinx rockets there. Barely dodged on the Nevermore, but looks like Knesset doesn't favor this. Decides to back out instead, but it has been spotted. Will know that it's there. And a beautiful Super Mega Death Rocket from Jinx there, along with a regular rocket, and the Zap there will take down Bipolar Rat yet again. That's a now 0-6 on the side of C2's bot lane.
Yeah, that was definitely well played by the Jinx. I do question though, Zillion held on to Chrono Shift. He has the mana for it. Why didn't he deny the kill to the Jinx?
Yeah, looks like perhaps Demon Chains and Bipolar Rat not quite on the same page there. The support choosing not to save their ADC, and now looks like DoV will start up the Dragon. Dexlo just peeking in to see what he can see, and it won't be able to see much before he gets poked out as he walked over a ward there. Second Drake over to DoV Nightfall Inferno, and now the map has shifted to Cloud. Teams will be able to move faster across the map, and all Drakes from here on out will be Cloud Drake.
Yeah, that is the last thing that C2 needs, is DoV getting Cloud Soul. I mean, Jinx Rocket is already on a relatively low cooldown. Getting an additional 20% if they get 2 Cloud Souls, or Cloud Dragons.
And the Chrono Shift going down on Demon Chains there did get caught out by the Chompers, pulled back, hit by the Nevermore, will die, but the Chrono Shift will just bring him back right up to full health there. His Chrono Shift will be down for the next just over a minute and a half there. Bot lane will have to play careful on the side of C2, more careful than they already have to be.
Especially since Senna also opted to follow up with her ult, which, I mean, Chrono Shift already heals for quite a bit early on at this point with how much health Zillion has max. So I don't like the call for the Senna ult there. I feel like it was just a waste.
Yeah, and just looking at how far the bot lane is right now. Luna, how is C2 going to get back into this game here?
Well, I would like to say that what they need to do is start hitting their stuff, but it the E from Swain just outranges Zillion Q, and they've already shown that they're also able to dodge Senna's snare. So at this point, they just need to stay at turret and farm and slow it down, and wait for their other lanes to try to come online.
Yeah,
and play for late game.
And speaking of slowing down and playing for late game, Azir is known to be one of the biggest late game hyper carries coming out of the mid lane there. So potentially, if they can slow it down sufficiently, they will be able to come back into the game. But as we talk about slowing it down, Gunt does pick up the Herald for the side of DoV. Looks like he is going to look for a gank here in the top lane. Drops the Herald top. Top is already very low from the pressure that Lord of Aces has been able to take, put down, and they will take the first turret of the game in the top lane there for DoV Nightfall.
Yeah, it was definitely a good rotation. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm finding it increasingly difficult for them to make a comeback for C2. Like, even with having a late game Senna, even with having Ornn when he gets Ornn items online, at this point, I'm worried if they're going to even be able to get to the late game.
Right, for sure. And as we look at the items here, Jinx picking up a Runan's Hurricane as her first completed item, opting not to complete a BF Sword item first. It seems to be working pretty decently for her right now. She is, after all, ahead. Mid lane, we've got Kinesin and Lord of Aces somehow in the mid lane squaring off. They've rotated Phantom X up to the top lane, the long lane now, and sent Lord of Aces to the mid lane to pressure it looks like.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, it's a good call, I think. I feel like Alawi has more sustainability, so she can, and she's also tankier, so she can afford to take more poke from the Azir, on top of the fact that she's already ahead of the Azir.
And DoV taking down their second turret of the game, the bot turret here. Poison Lynch getting excited as he finishes taking that down. Next Dragon, Cloud Drake will be coming up in about 40 seconds here, and it feels like DoV is setting up to take every dragon upon spawn.
That was a questionable proto belt there by Diana.
Yeah, but thankfully the Proto Belt cooldown is very quick. It's only a 40-second cooldown here, so it will be up in the next wave. We do see Commando Ops backing here. Oh no, he cancels the back, deciding to try and keep Phantom X. He does have teleport, Diana does not, so should a fight break out a dragon, Diana will not be able to go down, but it looks like she's just going to straight out kill him instead to remove that risk of him trying to do it. And a beautiful dodge from Phantom X will dodge out the Ornn Horn. Ornn now stuck very low in health and will go down. And Dragon has spawned.
I don't know why Ornn decided he was going to try to back there. Like, why not just head back towards your turret and be safe? Why take the risk?
And his team will pay for his sins, as the rest of the team will just simply take the dragon there. Kinesin not even looking at it, deciding to opt for trying to get a gank down on Lord of Aces instead. Dexlaw getting the Emperor's Divide onto Lord of Aces, pushing him back, will get the solo kill onto Lord of Aces. Kinesin flashing into the back of the team, getting a second knockup. Can he take Gunt? Yes, he can. He will take Gunt down and will pay for his life to Poison Lynch. Poison Lynch getting the kill. But now Demon Chain's getting hunted down by Poison Lynch. And Dexlaw looked like he wasn't paying attention, didn't see the fight go down, but he will pick up the kill, the shutdown onto Poison Lynch. Now Web Hippo being hunted down by Bipolar Rat. Supporto? Question mark on combat. As I don't know if you consider Fasting Senna a support. Web Hippo will get out safely there, but very, very low will have to base.
That was very well played by Dexlo there. Jinx, she's been playing well. She just gotta try not to tunnel. If Jinx can avoid getting tunnel vision like she did just there, she'll be able to carry their game. But if she keeps tunnel visioning, then, I mean, if you have a lot of gold and you're dead, that kind of don't do much for your team.
Definitely, and this time when you talk about gold for your team, Azir picking up the shutdown there is now 4-1, way ahead of his lane opponent. And we're looking at the gold here. Top lane, Lord of Aces in the lead with about 900 gold on his counterpart. In the jungle, Knesset up from Gunth, only a couple of hundred gold, about 300 or 250 gold. Mid lane, that's where the difference is on the side of C2, 1,200 gold over to the Azir, way to close the gap. But then you look down at the bot lane and the situation's reversed. Poison Lynch more than double Bipolar Rat's gold, or Zillion's gold there. 7,600, highest in the game on Poison Lynch. Just about a couple hundred ahead of Dexlo in the mid lane there. And Web Hippo, 5,000 gold, also significantly up ahead from his lane counterparts despite just being the support.
Hippo also sitting pretty with that nice goose egg in the death count. Gotta be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, Web Hippo able to survive all the engages here so far. Now Phantom X getting caught in the enemy jungle. Went in all alone, getting knocked up by the Wukong, getting knocked up by Ornn. The Ornn horn sounds, and she will go down to Commando Ops on the Ornn, giving over a bit of a bouncer there.
Just a little bit. It was a little bit sloppy from the Ornn horn, but either way, it didn't matter. Still picked up the kill. Still worked.
Yeah, it looks like the lane assignments have been swapped around again. Dexlo being sent to the bot lane now to face off against Lord of Aces. Previously, it was DoV who wanted that matchup, but it looks like now C2 is the one picking that particular matchup here. And they sent Phantom X back to the top lane, facing off against Commando Ops once again. The bot lane now, Poison Lynch has rotated down to the bot lane, seeking to try and pick off Dexlo. Super Mega Death Rocket goes down, and Dexlo will limp away with just about 20 health there. The late Senna ult sent down just to make sure he stays alive. We've got Web Hippo looking to see if he can get the pick here. Will get caught by Knesset and Bipolar Rat, but by using his ultimate, he will remain safe. The turret that Azir raised the bot lane has gone down. Now Gunth has arrived. There's 4 people on the side of DoV Nightfall in the bot lane looking to push.
Yeah, that was a very good attempt by Jinx to get the Azir. He had to have been at like 5 HP.
Yeah, but he does manage to limp away alive here, and we see DoV Nightfall backing off that bot lane, not wanting to risk anything there. Baron is up on the top side of the map. Cloud Drake will be coming up in just over a minute here, and it is Soul Point on the side of DoV Nightfall. Should they get this, they will get the Cloud Soul here.
And I do want to say that because we just saw the Diana hit Striders in the top part of the jungle. She saw that everyone from C2 was bot side, so this time she knew it would be safe to go to attempt to get the vision clear, and she's also choosing to play safe from the Ornn, at least for now, which I think is a very good call considering she has been losing her fights lately.
Yeah, definitely. She's just looking to farm it up here. The Ornn's just starting to build some magic resistance, working towards that Abyssal Mask here. Just carrying at this point the Negatron cloak there, while Diana has already completed her Proto Belt and her Stork shoes, carrying a Blasting Wand and an Antone here for now. Meanwhile, Lord of Aces continuing the split push bot. Once again, Diana, no TP. She's decided to walk down to the mid lane. We do see the TP come out of Commando Ops there, so it will be a full 5-on-5 should they wish to fight this. Lord of Aces walking towards the rest of the team. Phantom X choosing to take the long way round through the red side jungle to make sure that they get there safely. And now there's a bit of a face-off here around the Cloud Drake. Bipolar Rat throwing out a root, trying to see what they might find. They don't catch anything. Jinx firing out the bottle rocket, not picking up anything there. Both teams just dancing around it, out of range of everything but the furthest poke here. And now we've got Knesset flanking from the side. Will get in flash and does get onto Poison Lich. The Oran Horn sounds. Oran Horn will only pick Lord of Aces, but they will get Gunt. Dexlaw doing tons of damage. Phantom X diving in. Will pick up Demon Chains before he can Chrono Shift anyone. And Web Hippo in the midst of the fight doing tons of damage. Lord of Aces too, with the tentacles slapping down everyone. That will be an ace on the side of DOB, only losing their jungler Gun, but it doesn't matter. They will pick up that dragon uncontested, and looks like they're running straight at Baron.
Yeah, that was a beautiful execution by C2. They hit the wombo there with the flank into the Ornhorn and a zero to split the team. Beautiful. Unfortunately, though, both Jinx and Swain, they're fed. Like, Swain just sat there and he hit his R button and he was like, "Come at me, bro." And then no one else could get on Jinx, and they just cleaned up.
Yeah, and one thing to note there was that Web Hippo didn't even have to use his stopwatch, so he will have it available for the next fight. If you thought he was unkillable before for ON8, he's going to be even more unkillable now. And Gun comes in just in time to pick up the Baron with a smite there. DOV now having Baron buff up about 8k gold there, just base bot, and looks like they'll be shoving down a lane and trying to do their best to get into the enemy's base there towards the Nexus.
Mm-hmm. Also, apparently that Drake that they just got, that was Cloud Soul for them. At some point, they snuck the third dragon from us.
Yeah, so they do have Cloud Soul, and that will mean that they can even move even faster now. So C2 before had problems trying to match up in the fights and trying to catch the people out. Well, now they're going to have even more problems. And on the side of DOV, I'm sure they'll be happy to have the movement speed, give Jinx a bit more of that mobility to make sure that her positioning is good, and Web Hippo will be able to engage a little better as well.
Mm-hmm. It also gives Phantom a good out in case he tries to ult in and doesn't necessarily get the best of ults. So, which is also a good use of Protobelt in case they go for the counter on Phantom, then he can just Protobelt himself into a better position out of the fight.
Right, and we see DOV now pushing in. They've got a 4-1 split push going in. 4 in the middle. They do take down the tier 2 turret. Will instantly burst down Dexlaw with the catch there. Dexlaw puts down the Emperor's Divide, but it doesn't really separate much. The people who he split up are the people who want to stay away. That wall helps them more than it helps themselves. Will go down, and the siege continues mid lane. Meanwhile, Lord of Aces also getting the push off in the top lane. Will take down a turret as well, knocking on the inhib turrets for both mid and top. The inhib turret goes down mid lane. They're now on the inhib itself. Lord of Aces soon to take down that top lane turret and will be able to rejoin, but the whole team instead rotates top lane. Top lane inhib turret goes down. Now they're on the inhib. That's 2 open lanes here with their inhibs down. Are they going to push for an end here? Dexlaw coming up in about 3 seconds, but on side of DOV, the Swain ultimate and Alawi ultimate are up. The other ultimate should be coming up very soon for the rest of the team.
Yeah, and I mean, while Limpton having Baron buff,
and the Ornhorn sounds they're going for possibly Web Hippo. Looks like they mess up. The Ornhorn second component does not go through. They get some damage on down to Web Hippo, but he will just out and walk away, healing up. Knesset now looking to sneak in, does get into the back line, pops them up, but he is alone. The rest of the team unable to catch up with him. Bipolar Rat desperately running away, will get to safety there, but kind of low, getting zoned out. One of the Nexus turrets have gone down. Only one Nexus turret left. Phantom X here looking to try and get Bipolar, but ends up taking a lot of damage. Lord of Aces now tanking up the turret. Web Hippo gets the root down to Bipolar. The Ignite, can he get the kill? No, it looks like he's rooted. But meanwhile, Dexlaw gets picked by Phantom X and Poison Lich. Tons of damage going down. They will eventually take down Web Hippo, but it doesn't matter as their Nexus goes down to DOV Nightfall. 18-8 the final scoreline for DOV versus C2 in a 26-38 minute game.
That was a speed game. Unfortunately, Hippo, he either he was just like, we win anyways, or he just didn't get the stopwatch to go off fast enough, and he was a split second away from a perfect game. It was a good try, buddy.
Yeah, total final scoreline for him was 4-1 and 11, and that came literally seconds or even less than a second away from the Nexus going down. It was oh so close, but DOV really pushing home what they had with the Baron buff there. Just got into the base, stayed in there, and just took everything from them. Commendable effort from C2 there. They really held on despite the huge early lead deficit they had in the bot lane. Their bot lane went a combined 1-9 that game. Bipolar not really able to get into the game very much. Demon Chains likewise, compared to DOV's bot lane, which went a combined 11-2.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed by Swin Jinx, and I just want to point out, like, not only did DOV not give any of their towers this game, they got all the objectives that were available, and they're up. What was that? 11K gold
Yep, about 11,500
at end game. That's well played. That was just beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful
definitely
game.
an amazing start on the side of DOV Nightfall to their evening. Game 1, it's a perfect, from an objective point of view, a perfect game for them, as you said, giving nothing up in terms of turrets and objectives, taking the Baron, taking the Dragons, taking the Soul, taking the turrets. Now the question is, can they keep it up? This is game 1 of the evening. DOV will go on for 2 more games tonight, and we'll have to see how they go. It's an amazing start, and they are looking strong on the side of C2. It is a bit of a rough start to them, but as we've seen from last week, C2 is not a weak team by any means. So we'll have to see how it goes onwards as the night goes on. They are still facing 2 more teams, and we'll hopefully be able to get some W's onto the board tonight. And with that, for now, we are going to head over. We are going to take a short intermission break for while we end round 1, and we will see you guys at round 2.